and we back, 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 and we back.
On Instagram, virtual conferences. They're on Instagram with their first uniforms and their first jerseys and their first equipment where they can wear their shirts. So I want to know which one of you guys, which you guys think is a rookie is going to have a good rookie year, who possibly can be the rookie of the year. And when I say this, I want you guys to dig deep, like top name guys. It could be a mid-range guy, 6th round guy that you think is a sleeper. But what do you guys think? Who's going to be the best rookie this year, or who could actually potentially win the rookie of the year? Let's start with Lee.
I think for me it's Joe Burrow. And, you know, I'm going with the the guy from Iowa, Ames. I think that what he did in LSU with the NCAA record of 60 touchdowns, 202 passer rating, and he's just one of those things where all the pieces are there. They just need a franchise quarterback. Think about what they have. And we understand what they have last year, and they were lack of production on offense. We think about what they did in terms of points. They were 30th ranked with 17.4. We think about what they were in passing yards. They were 26th ranked in total passing. In total yards they were 26th, in passing yards they were 19th. And then we think about what they were in rushing, that was 25th. The 25th in rushing, however, we think about Joe Mixon, top perennial running back. However, his backup, not so much. We think about Giovanni Bernard, 170 yards rushing. So that was the best backup they had. After that was Andy Dalton. So they need better production out of the backfield after Joe Mixon gets out. It's Joe Mixon or nothing at that point. So you get that cleaned up. You got a perennial. I'm saying, for me at least, I think that Joe Burrow is one of the best passers, I thought, in the NCAA, and I think he'll prove that into the Cincinnati Bengals. You think about what he has at the wide receiver position. He has Tyler Boyd, who had 90 catches last year. To me, he compares to like a little bit better, or at least 2 times better than Todd Pinkston, like a times 2 version of Todd Pinkston. He just reminds me of him. I don't know why. But he had 90 catches, over 1,000 yards. Both in 2 seasons, he had over 1,000 yards. And then you think about A.J. Green, one of the top-tier wide receivers when healthy. And you think about what he's done when healthy. 6 seasons of 1,000 yards, over 65 catches in all 6 seasons. So he's a problem when he's healthy.
Okay, nice. Joe Burrow coming out. Cincinnati #1 overall pick. He should definitely be rookie of the year. Dan, what's your thoughts on this?
So at first, when I looked at this question, I was going to say CeeDee Lamb. Being that, you know, the Cowboys just lost Randall Cobb. You're replacing Randall Cobb with CeeDee Lamb, an explosive wide receiver. But I really thought about it, and I'm into somebody. I picked somebody who should be talked about more, and he was potentially a #1 draft pick, and that's Chase Young.
Tell us about it, Dan. Don't worry, we will.
I start lagging.
Oh yeah, you like PS4 lag.
My bad.
PS4 lagging here.
Did y'all hear what I said?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so I'm going with. I'm gonna go with first. I was gonna go with CeeDee Lamb, but I'm gonna go with Chase Young. And the reason why with Chase Young is I feel like a lot of us talked about the wide receivers and the quarterbacks in this draft, but we really didn't talk about one of the top defensive prospects in this draft who potentially could have went #1. Not only are the Redskins getting Chase Young, but Chase Young is also getting a coach who knows defense. He's getting Coach Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera had the privilege to coach one of the best middle linebackers to ever play the game in Luke Kuechly. And he's getting presented another freak of nature with Chase Young. Not only that, but you got to look at Chase Young on one side. For all the teams in that division, you got to look at Chase Young on one side, Ryan Kerrigan on another side. Those are two. Ryan Kerrigan is one of the best defensive ends in the league right now. Even though he had a slump year, being that he did miss 4 games last year. He had 25 tackles. He had 5 sacks, which is nothing to compared to his previous years of having like 40 something tackles and 13 sacks. You're putting the Washington Redskins in a good situation with putting Chase Young in. Chase Young is someone who is not only a speed rusher, but he's a power rusher. He doesn't get a lot of credit for power rushing, and I believe that he will be up for grabs for Rookie of the Year.
Okay, nice. Before you go, T, I just want to say Chase Young is going to be a freakish athlete. I believe his pro day made him an even more freakish athlete. But staying with Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? I just want to get my little 2 cents in this. I think the biggest pick was in the 2nd round, the number 55 overall pick, J.K. Dobbins. And I want to say why, right? They already got Mark Ingram. When he went to the Baltimore Ravens, right? They already have Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards, right? They have Lamar Jackson as a blue threat. But J.K. is going to go in there and be the number 1 running back right from the beginning. He would take over Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards. He would be RB1. I'm going to tell you why.
Woo!
2,000 yards. Huh?
No, I said woo!
2,000 yards, 2,000 plus yards in this final season at Ohio State. With the Ravens runners averaging 5 yards a carry, he could just fit right into that and give him a speed boost, a person that can actually catch out the backfield and have when Lamar Jackson run a read option, this would be one of a more high explosive offense than we already seen last year. So I believe J.K. Dobbins will be that guy to elevate Lamar and make Lamar better. With the Mark Ingram just being more of a power back, J.K. can be a 3-down running back where he can catch, run, and block. He will have to work on blocking a lot, but if he can just produce 1,000 yards this year, that would be a major benefactor to Lamar Jackson. T, what's your thoughts on who you think would be Rookie of the Year or who rookie would be top notch?
So with me, I'm going to go with my guy from Philly, DeAndre Swift. In my opinion, he was the best back in the draft, and I don't believe he should have won the 2nd round at all. They even picked Clyde Edwards-Helaire over him. The Chiefs did. I felt like he would have fit great for the Chiefs, basically because they came off of the Super Bowl last year and they had Damian Williams. I feel like DeAndre Swift, he would have added a harder punch to that offense with him coming out of the backfield, being able to catch. He can run north-south. He can run east and west. Like, I feel like he was the best back in the draft, and he did it against pretty great defenses in the SEC. And Rookie of the Year, I think he's going to get it because with him being in Detroit, nobody had him going to Detroit in the 2nd round. He should have never went in the 2nd round. Let me say that again, the 2nd time. And I feel like with us being from Philly, him like not being drafted in the 1st round, he has a chip on the shoulder. He wants to come and improve himself. And I feel like with him having Matt Stafford, a veteran who's never had like a good running back, he had Javed Best for half a season. That was his best running back. And I feel like with DeAndre Swift, the Lions should do better than they have in the past few seasons.
So do you believe he dropped down because of what? Why do you think he dropped in the draft?
Honestly, I feel like he dropped. The only reason he dropped this year was because it was so much talent in this draft than it has been in the past few years. I feel like if he got drafted last year or the year before, he would have definitely been number 1. Well, not number 1, but a 1st-round draft pick on most of the mock drafts. Like, I've read a few mock drafts. Some had him even gone, I think it was as high as 14 or 15 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's the highest I've seen him. And I feel like he should have went. The Buccaneers should have gotten him, but they chose to go in a different direction.
Okay. So I believe that running backs are no longer being graded or valued in the NFL no more as much as it has been in the past. That's why he fell. I think a lot of teams are going more still with the offensive lineman to try to protect the quarterback because now it's a passing league in the NFL. I hope DeAndre is Rookie of the Year, being that he's from Philly. I hope you get a chance to actually ball out this year and be like the number 1 back. Well, he will be the number 1 back for Detroit, but take a lot of pressure off of the pressure off of Matt Stafford. Sorry about that. So Lena.